Hey everyone, I'm NornQueenAlexis and I am a wargamer.
What got you into the hobby?
What got me into the hobby? So, way back when, in the early days of the 2000s, actually it was the late 2000s, but whatever, we're going to ignore that. I had this friend by the name of Justin. Now, Justin was a super nice guy who was extremely outspoken. He was your stereotypical neckbeard. Like literally, fedora wearing neckbeard, like complete whole package right there. And one day I was sitting in a study hall and I was reading a book and he was reading something and talking about a chainsword. Now, I thought the concept of a chainsaw sword to be the dumbest yet most metal thing ever. So it piqued my interest, and I happened to look over. He was looking at the 4th edition Space Marine Codex. Yes, I started in 4th edition. And I started asking him about it, and I was like, what the heck is that? And he's just like, it's a chainsaw sword wielded by a space marine, a blah, 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 and started telling me about the space marines. And I was like, what? That's silly. So then he showed his computer to me, and it had the Sisters of Battle. Now, if you don't know, I'm a very big fan of punk and goth. If you can't tell by my aesthetic, usually it is a punk goth aesthetic, and I absolutely love it, which explains all the dark makeup. It's actually to hide the fact that I don't sleep. But I digress. Sleeping is overrated. So once I found out about the Sisters of Battle, I was a lot more interested in 40k. Then I found out about the intergalactic space bugs known as the Tyranids. I learned about the Space Marines and a few others. Justin gave me a few books and actually lent me a copy of Fire Warrior, which I think I lost. I think I returned it to him. I am like 20% sure that I returned that game to him. And it was bad. Like, it was a terrible game. But back then, I didn't know what a terrible game was, so I played it and enjoyed it. And I started getting more and more into 40k from there, buying my first army when I went and visited Europe in 2009. I went to one of the first Warhammer stores ever to make my first purchase, which was the Battle for Macragge box set, which that box set has a special place in my heart. It came with terrain, gaunts, Genestealers, some spore mines, no space marines, no, one tactical squad, a pilot, which I thought was really cool, an aeronautica pilot, and some terrain, as I said. And that set was so much fun. I played so many games from it because all I had was the pamphlet. I didn't have a codex yet. But then I actually started getting into the game more as my buddy Keith and my other friend Justin, I have a lot of friends named Justin, started getting into it. And I had a lot of fun playing this game with them. I'm really good at strategy and strategic games. Tycoon games are one of my favorites. I love The Sims. And this game caught that because it was a dark atmosphered game, which I personally love. And it was a game where I felt the aesthetic was just right. The women were women. They were sexy but powerful. They didn't feel like over sexualized at all, in my opinion, especially being that some of them are Tyranids. But I just fell in love with the aesthetic. So that's how I got into the game. My first army, ironically, was Space Marines. I really, really, really wanted to start Sisters of Battle, but at the time I was poor and in high school and poor, very poor. So that kind of sucked. But I did get a Space Marine army. Funny story about this, though. Funny story, because everybody loves a funny story. I went to a game store by the name of Bearded... No, not Bearded Dragon. Oh my god, what was it? What was it? Fantasy Flight? No. Flights of Fantasy in near Albany, New York. And my buddy had a D100, which I still have to this day. It's in my drawer over there. I can go and get it. But my buddy Keith bet me that if I rolled 100 on a D100, he would buy me anything on the shelf. But if I rolled anything else, I'd buy him a drink. And so I grabbed it, rolled it, and I got the Space Marine Mega Force. That's right, the Mega Force, not the Battle Force, the Mega Force. So that was awesome. That was awesome. Yeah. So what's the next question on that list?
Alright, now, here's an important one. What got you into doing YouTube?
So, I was off and on YouTube a couple of years ago, and I was doing voice acting in high school and college for another YouTuber. And I did a little bit of professional voice acting. And I remember one day, I was in college, and I had a professor by the name of Mr. McGuire. This guy was the greatest teacher I've ever had in my entire life, mostly because he told people right to their face, your grades don't matter because you won't be here at the end of the semester. And I thought that was the greatest insult ever. But Mr. McGuire said something to me that I think a lot of people should hear. And that is, regardless of what you do in your life, if you have passion for something, you will always be successful. That's why I only ever make videos when I'm passionate about it. I don't really do too much research. I read a lot. I don't write too many detailed scripts. Hell, I have to ask my mod team to help me write scripts. But usually I don't. I do everything based on my heart. And 40K helped me out a lot. After high school, before college, I went through, actually it was right after I failed college for the first time. I failed college twice before I graduated. I have a bachelor's degree and an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree in business, an associate's degree in psychology. But before I got that, I had this 1 to 2 year period where I was extremely depressed, and 40K helped me through it. It was a hobby that I got to do, and it was a time killer that I really enjoyed. So I owe a lot to 40K, but I had friends and everything helping me out as well. So the reason I started doing YouTube is because of what Mr. McGuire said. Do something you're passionate about. Being up in front of a stage and helping people out is something that I love. So doing YouTube just seemed to come natural. I'm a natural born speaker. I've taken leadership classes my whole life. I've sang in front of crowds. I've hosted events and conventions myself. So YouTube just seemed like the logical step. And I enjoyed it.
Alright, next up is where...
And we lost White. He is gone forever. See, White is, my moderator White, he's a little bit of a demon of Slaanesh, so every now and then the warp
Would you like
sucks him
your
up.
channel to go in the future?
Okay, you need to repeat that entire question because you just got lost in the warp. Nope. Okay.
Oh, in the future.
I love how you cut out twice and all I heard was in the future.
God damn. Okay. Okay. Where would you like your channel to go in the future?
So right now we're on the cusp of 30,000 subscribers. That's incredible to me. Now, I would be lying if I said I didn't want to become a famous YouTuber. I'm never going to. But I do want the channel to keep growing, and I do want to be one of the primary influencers for women getting into this hobby. I have a lot of people that come to me who don't feel comfortable in other hobbies, other hobby communities, and I greet them with welcoming arms. Now, granted, I am a little bit cold at times, and I'm very argumentative. Years of abuse led to that. And in a male-dominated hobby, if you don't hold your ground, you kind of get walked on. So I want to be one of the figureheads for women coming into this hobby and go to events, conventions, have fun, get people to play me from all over the world, travel the world is what I really want to do. Like, I'm coming for you, Winters. Don't you think that I'm not. I'm coming after you. and we're going to do battle. And my sisters of battle are going to purify the 13th. On to you. Anyway, jokes aside. I do actually want to battle the other 40k YouTubers. I think that could be a really, really, really fun event. Like, just once a year, we all get together and just battle it out. But legit, what I want is, I want people to be happy in this community. And I also want 100,000 subscribers, because I do. I mean, who doesn't? Alright, let's get that last one.
Okay. What advice would you give to a new hobbyist joining the YouTube content creation game?
So the lore community is extremely aggressive, to the point of blatantly attacking one another. I would avoid that. I'm not saying the content creators are bad, except for one in particular. But everyone knows exactly who I'm talking about when I say that. That guy is garbage. Everyone else who does lore, such as Luton09, Tactica Imperialis, Remlays, I know there's like 1,000 others, Wolflord Row, all do fantastic content, and I do love their content, though sometimes they get things wrong. I love correcting them, because I am a terrible nerd. But I would avoid the lore community because they can be a little bit aggressive. Make sure whatever you do, if you do lore, go for it. Make sure you have the drive and the passion to do it. Try not to let comments get to you. I get them all the time. I have a huge ban list. I probably have the highest ban list out of any other YouTuber I've ever talked about. It's a little under 3,000 people banned from the channel. And that's on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube here. You're going to learn one thing, and one thing very quickly. If somebody's arguing with you, remove the comment. It ends it right there. You may feel crappy for doing it, just do it. But if you're getting into 40k or AOS or any other various war game, my advice is just ask us. We're very open and polite people. I would suggest getting some cameras. I would suggest getting if you're going to do lore, you're going to need a Blue Yeti microphone or something equivalent. You're going to need a better webcam than the one that I'm using currently, because mine is trash. You're going to need a few other things as well. There's a large cost of getting into doing YouTube, but a simple camera phone can actually do it. Like, start somewhere, have passion, have the drive to do it, and just have fun. Make sure you're not doing this as a job. Make sure you're doing this for yourself. That's really what it's about at the end of the day. All of us here, all of us content producers, we enjoy our work. We play and have fun and show you guys us having fun. Like, I don't think I watch a content producer who just talks for the sake of talking without actually, like, having a drive behind it. Like Remlays, he's super excited about his theories at all points. Like, if you talk to him about it, you can tell that he has a passion for it. Tactica Imperialis, same thing. When you talk to them about all of their lore and how they do their stories and how they break down it to do a proper story for it. There's Oculus Imperialis, who is a very fantastic person. I've had quite a few good conversations with them. They seem like a nice person. I will admit I haven't really watched their lore. I do apologize. Wolflord Row is one of my favorites for lore. He is absolutely fantastic. And again, you can tell that, you could just hear in his voice that he is gushing. He is fangirling worse than me at some point. And I love watching that. Winters SEO, he is a great content producer for Warhammer 40k's tabletop game. You can follow all of his stuff. It's amazing. And you can tell that he is having fun. Like, he is more driven by having a good list as well as it being a fun list. Mini Wargaming is the same way. They're just in it for having fun. They do run a business, but it is a fun business for them. And I like to consider myself amongst them as a passionate wargaming YouTuber. And that's what you should strive for. That's my advice. Go me. And go everyone else. I really enjoy this community. Sometimes it can get to me though. Not the YouTubers, the comments and everything, they get to me. But yeah. And I think that's about it, right? Oh yeah, and I have to nominate 3 channels. I don't know who else has done this. So Miranda, Wargamer Girl, you have to do this because I absolutely love you. You're an amazing person. Wolflord Row, because I love your work. I think Winters has actually done this, so I don't want to say him. And I know Glacial Geek just did this, and his content is also fantastic. He has like such a great laugh. Like, I barely watch his battle reports for watching them. I watch his battle reports because they're fun. And you know what? Mini Wargaming. Let's tag them in there. I want Dave and Matt to do it together. I'm not gonna giggle at that. But I do want to nominate those 3. Wargamer Girl, Wolflord Row, and Dave and Matt for Mini Wargaming. That's my 3. Because I love those channels. Yeah. So, that's why I'm a wargamer. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it gave you some insight onto what we do here. As always, I want to know your thoughts. Comment in the comment section down below. Follow me on things. They're in the links in the description down below. Join my community. I have a Discord. Check it out. As always, I'm NornQueenAlexis. I love you guys. Bye.